and have had the honor and pleasure and great prosperity and great happiness of being with this company. It will be 29 years as of January the 1st, and I'm looking forward to the next 29 years because the adventure has been amazing and only gets better all the time. If you're, interested, and I'm sure you are if you're joining us for the first time, in just a little company history, our company's actually 46 years old. The man who started it 46 years ago is a very young man. Jay Martin is still the founder, of course, and the owner and the person who runs our company still today. And, just an amazing human being, certainly has created a foundation for so many people to not only do well from a very great health standpoint, but also from a financial standpoint in creating their own businesses. Our company actually entered the marketplace that many years ago, actually 46 years ago now. We started in 1970 with a product that I'm sure you're all familiar with today. We were the company that actually introduced smoke detectors for the home. Obviously, that was very successful. Diversifying over the years, they went into the field of environment in the early 80s with water filtration and air filtration products, multi-billion-dollar product lines, continuing to diversify. I guess it's been almost 24 years now, right at 24 years, we entered the field of health technology with Juice Plus and the Juice Plus family of products. And what an amazing find, not only for our own health and well-being, but for the people we love and those we come across on a daily basis. We've also been very blessed to have people who are wonderful that come and share their ideas and information and knowledge with us every Monday night. Actually, we've been meeting like this every Monday night for 26 years without missing a Monday night. So we're not only thrilled to have you all with us tonight, but to have someone that we've been looking forward to hearing. He's going to join us and share some of his knowledge and expertise. And our special speaker tonight is Sean Hopkins. He's Vice President of Product Research and Market Intelligence. And, what an amazing place to be as far as our company is concerned, and we're going to hear a lot about that tonight, but I want to tell you a little bit about Sean. I've had the pleasure to know him many years, and just somebody that I admire a great deal, and we're very happy that he's leading this aspect of our company. Sean Hopkins joined our Juice Plus team in Canada in September of 1993, straight from the University of Western Ontario, where he studied economics. He spent 4 years in the Canadian office in sales and marketing, and then took on assignments in the U.S. for 4 years, Japan for 4 years, the U.K. for a year, in various global business development roles. He returned to the U.S. in 2005. So I guess he's seen our company from every corner of the globe, you might say. He spent, Sean now serves as Vice President of Product Research and Market Intelligence, where his team is responsible for the technical and quality aspects of our product line. He also oversees our ongoing clinical research program, which is just a huge thing as far as our growth and development and validation of who and what we are as a product. And today we have 35 published studies or trials, and there are 5 underway and others under consideration. His market intelligence team publishes business intelligence globally, focusing on positive trends and underlying key learnings. This team has enabled the company to better understand the drivers and barriers in sales momentum. So a very crucial part of, what we do and who we are as a company and a product line, Sean is responsible for. So Sean has 2 beautiful daughters and a beautiful wife, and he enjoys playing ice hockey, golf, and water skiing. So obviously an athlete as well. So Sean, I am very excited, as you can tell. Worldwide, they're excited to hear from you tonight. And maybe just start by sharing with people, I know you and I were having a conversation earlier, on the things that you really enjoy about this aspect of your job now, or your position with our company, the products product development, research, the things that really are, as I said, very crucial to who and what we are.
Sure. Would love to, Cheryl, and thanks for having me tonight. So looking forward to joining you again. It's been a while, and it's great to be back.
Great. We're glad you're here.
So, when I accepted the role, it's been about 15 or 16 months now. It wasn't without deliberation because I wasn't anticipating coming into this role. I'd been with the company for 20-some years. I'd actually been in the product team 17 or 18 years ago, and at that time I thought I was even going to pursue, more formal education in the health and wellness field, and I just got thrown a curveball and got asked to go to Japan, and, one thing led to another. So when I was reconsidering coming back to the team, there were kind of three things that tipped the scales for me. The first was once I really started understanding what this team that we built does and the command they have on the process, literally from the seeds we select to the customers we support with the most challenging inquiries. And once I started seeing how educated they were and how motivated they were in particular and how inspired they were about what they did, that really kind of lit a fire in me and compelled me to want to take on the role, even though it was a big undertaking, and I already had kind of a concrete path with the company, some of which I got to keep and some of which I got to relinquish. But another big thing was I knew from participating in our strategic planning efforts that the company had acquired an appetite to do more in product innovation and in ongoing research. And although I totally respect and know from studying it for years that having a narrow product line has been a huge luxury for us, it's a luxury in the field for issues people face at the point of sale. It's a luxury for us as a group because we can spend the majority of our time actually making our existing products better as opposed to trying to figure out what more and more and more products are going to be. But I think we've come to a place where we've agreed as a group that we're smart enough and we're ready enough and disciplined enough to add to our product line. And between that and some new and interesting research, and also, I guess, getting back into a role that allowed me to more directly serve the field. Cheryl, the first more than half of my career, I was always in a field-facing role, and then I kind of drifted behind the scenes. And although I love that too, I kind of missed the level of interaction I had with our representatives in the field. And in the field around the world, I feel pretty fortunate to have lived in 5 countries with the company and worked in every single country we do business in and been to 42 countries because of the Juice Plus company. So those are the 3 big things that made me decide this was a great role for me.
Well, we're glad that you're back in the field, you might say, and I've known you in the field, and then I've heard of you behind the scenes, and I'm glad you're back in the field again. I would have to agree that being with our company, whether you're in the field or with a corporate office, is absolutely a ticket to see the world, and if you choose to work it in that fashion, and it's an amazing experience. Well, we were also talking earlier about some of the things that were exciting for you in this position as well, like the growers and meeting and knowing them and working with them. I heard you say that we all as a company, I guess it would be you all, are particular, right from the very seeds that are used to the manner in which the produce is grown. You oversee it very carefully, and I think that's something that people always love hearing about. I know I always love hearing about it because in the world we live in today, there are not that many people who are guarding precious seeds as far as their purity and, their the ability to really provide food that is nutritionally sound.
Yeah, well, when I was on the product team 17 or 18 years ago, I was the first person to join John Blair to actually form a team. And at that point, we were entirely outsourced and relied on our relationships with our partners to monitor this whole entire process. And today, we monitor it ourselves. We, as a team, set very clear specifications and requirements for the kinds of products we want to build, and we go out and find people that not only can, but want to build great products like ours. That's one of the things that really jumped out at me once I started meeting more of the people behind the partner companies, especially the growers, that the passion they had for building premium products. I mean, hopefully everyone on the call has had a chance to witness that on their own by watching our growing body of, video content that shows our farm fresh nutrition and features some of our most inspired growers. And that was just so, warming to meet with people that love what they did and were, similarly driven to the people that we work with in the field around the world. So just having that passion and that fire in their belly. And one place I didn't expect to see it, although maybe I was just stereotyping, was once I started meeting some of the principal investigators of our ongoing research, how passionate they were. And I guess I realized in talking with our Director of Clinical Research, Dr. Manfred Lamprecht, that, if you want to unveil some sophisticated findings, you pretty much have to be passionate around trying to figure it out. And once you do, you're even more excited. And the principal investigators that are working on our ongoing research now are pretty excited about what they're seeing and what we're going to be able to publish. So really, when you asked me earlier,
exciting. It really sounds like they're as excited about the results as we are.
For sure, about the results and about how publishable are and what kind of journals we're likely to be able to attract. So the people side was huge for me. And in terms of what we do, when I first joined, I was in a race to really capture that concretely in my mind. And so we actually did a fair amount of work to formally capture it. And we affectionately refer to what we do as our seed to service matrix. So from identifying seeds to servicing customers, who in that matrix has the expertise and where's the backup and where's the overlap, and do we need consultants and do we have the right resources to start with that idea, come up with specifications, source them sustainably around the world, go through growing processes that are demanded by us, how we, most importantly, take that produce and get it into a powder stage. Our drying is the most worked on area that we have since the very beginning, and then who we work with manufacturing to convert that into an encapsulated packaged product or into a soft chewable or into powder that's used in our shake mix or into a bar or whatever. And then we go on to certifying through entities like NSF and Fresenius around the world, where we get their third-party backing that what we're doing is what we say we're doing. A big part of what we do, which I don't always enjoy as much as the other stuff, but I often refer to it, is the regulatory side. Now, there's so much that goes on the regulatory side that you don't necessarily see. That takes a huge resource from us. I'll give you a great example, and an interesting example. Only a couple of months after I joined, we got notification from the Italian government saying Concord grapes was not on their list, their approved list for ingredients as a powder. And Europe has these mutual recognition laws where essentially if Europe says it's okay, or most of Europe says Concord grapes is okay, then everyone has to say they're okay. But Italians said, no, that's not okay. And we had to fight them with big shot lawyers for 6 or 8 months. It took a huge resource drain, but they finally conceded, and we dodged a huge logistics bullet if we had to, change our formulas around Europe based on this regulatory hurdle. But that's something that's a big part of what we do, both in preparing for something new and supporting, all the products we have. And then, of course, researching is a huge part of what we do. A significant competitive edge, competitive advantage for us in our minds. And then we have several staff here that do a lot of supporting our call center and our sales and marketing teams as to, really what goes into our products and how we can convey that effectively to our customers and our representatives.
Well, and it sounds like there's so much going on all the time, so that when we receive that box in the mail and we swallow those capsules, it's very convenient and it's very simple, but a huge amount of work and effort and ongoing effort goes into play for that to happen for us in a very convenient way. So that's exciting to know about. As far as products are concerned, I know now that, as you say, there's the thinking is that, we will continue to expand our product line, and I know being with this company for basically 3 decades that they're very, very meticulous about the products that we decide on and, what we're going to market. So maybe just give us a little insight there. I know we have 1 or 2 things on the horizon that are exciting that we'll know about fairly quickly, but maybe if you want to go in that direction a bit.
Yeah, sure. Like I mentioned earlier, having a narrow product line we see as being a luxury, and we've always felt like we'd rather sell the same products to more people rather than more products to the same people. And you think about other companies in our space or in any, health and well-being space, very few, I don't know of anybody who's done what we have over 23 years with as narrow a product line as we have. And there's only one reason why we were able to pull it off, and that's because our products are extraordinary. I mean, nobody else has really even attempted it to go that long and do so well literally on a handful of products. And so we don't want to forget what got us here, and that focus was a huge part and became a huge part of our culture. But we also understand that, there could potentially be other gaps we could bridge. And one of them that has interested us for quite some time, and we've kind of dabbled in it in a couple of products over the years, is omega essential fatty acids, omega-3 in particular. But we've went on to discover that just like with fruits and vegetables, there's a broad array of omegas. And we have developed a product that has taken us longer to bring to market than we expected, but the reality of product innovation kind of hit us square between the eyes when you're kind of pushing the envelope around something that hasn't really been done to the scale we plan on it, using the materials that we plan on using. We ran into a couple of unexpected hurdles, but we've passed a couple of big ones lately, and so we're getting more and more confident, although I'm always told by our CEO to hedge everything. Assuming everything goes as planned, we'll have a new product that we're calling Juice Plus Omega Blend going through a phased rollout starting in January of 2017.
And this is exciting, as I told you earlier. It's so exciting for me. It definitely is one of those aspects that I would call a gap in my own, nutritional support of my body, because I'm very allergic to seafood, so that cuts out a lot of omegas for me, and I don't do well with flax. So I'm really excited because you might tell us a little bit about how this particular blend of omegas is going to be derived, and I think people would find that interesting. I certainly find it very exciting.
Sure. Well, certainly one of our guiding principles is to be whole food based and plant based, and that was a big challenge in this space because obviously fish is a huge player. Fish oil is a huge player in the omega world, and we just weren't going to, source fish as a raw material. None of us could fathom the idea that rotting fish was our raw material that we had to somehow get into a capsule. So we had to find other ways, and it's taken some time really for the industry to find ways to efficiently convert other sources of omegas, especially from plant. And so we essentially scoured the earth and ended up discovering lots of different sources of all types of omega. So we have sources of omega-3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. And 3, 6, and 9 are probably commonly known to people on the call in the general marketplace, but 5 and 7 are kind of emerging forms of omega, and we're sourcing them from things like pomegranate seed oil and sea buckthorn berry oil. And what we found was that many of the fruits and vegetables that we already have contain oils in their seeds that can be cold pressed. So minimally processed is a huge consideration for us. We're trying to leave our source materials in as close to nature's state as possible. So we found sourceable seeds that can be cold pressed, and they have as a product, it has so many parallels to our orchard, garden, and vineyard product, in that it's a little bit of a wide variety of things. There's clear synergy between them. There's a huge variety of potential benefits available. Omegas are known for things like heart health, eye health, skin health, brain health, inflammation, immune system support, and probably as wide of benefit range as anything. And that caught our curiosity. So to be able to build something that's going to be both vegetarian and vegan, made with a process that's up to our minimally processed standards. We're actually going to be in a pretty unique capsule as well. This is a two-piece capsule, which you don't often see in an oil or a liquid in a two-piece capsule, and we work directly with our partner to develop that. It's also going to be kosher and non-GMO. So those are some standards that we try to reach before we go to market, and we've got all those T's crossed and I's dotted. So we're planning on a 3-stage launch that'll start, if all goes well, in January, Cheryl. So as I shared with you, our first round is to share complimentary box. I got housekeeping banging on the door. Just one second. Come back later. Sorry.
Good thing you can do this and live life at the same time.
I came back to the office. I don't have housekeeping at my house.
Don't. Go ahead.
So we're planning on a multi-stage launch. Everything is on schedule for our first production within 10 days to be able to produce enough in a white label format, white label, white bottle, that'll go out to NMDs around the world and select healthcare professionals around the world. And we're actually putting as many of our employees who want to try it on our products around the world, so that everyone can have an initial experience and also help us learn about what they're feeling and what they think about it. And there's going to be plenty of collaboration between our sales and marketing teams and the sales leadership to proceed to understand exactly how this fits at the point of sale and what resonates with customers. It's our first attempt at a global launch as well in the history of the company. That's a huge undertaking, another reason why it's taken us longer than expected to get 23 countries saying that the things you have on your ingredient panel are all acceptable. Has been a ton of work, but we're super excited about it. We think we'll bridge a gap. We think we'll be unique. We think it fits really well to the Juice Plus product line. It'll be packaged similar to Vineyard, 2 bottles in a box, 120 capsules in a bottle. So you take 2 a day, and each bottle is a 2-month supply. So your 4-month supply is in a Vineyard-sized box. We also have a vegetarian capsule for this, and that was also a big part of the product innovation side. Previous generations of different vegetarian capsules just weren't meeting our standards, and so we had to go back to the drawing board a little bit with our capsule supplier and build capsules of this type that hold a liquid that would meet all the quality standards. There's tons of stability tests you have to pass to show that over the course of the shelf life, what's on the label is still in the product and still can be tested and verified as in the product. So a lot of due diligence goes in, but we're going to have a vegetarian capsule, which we're excited about. We spent a lot of time working on it, and we've actually underway with a global launch of this exact same capsule material. It's sourced from tapioca. That'll be used in our capsules for orchard, garden, and vineyard around the world.
Oh, hooray! That's wonderful
Yeah.
news tonight. And when will we expect that? About the same time frame?
Well, it's already been made in Europe. It's going out the door of our warehouse in some countries in Europe. You can imagine it's a huge supply chain consideration where we're ramping up to our quantities, but want to be able to do it in a sustainable way so they can make as much as we need in the countries that we roll out in. So basically the general plan is it's rolling out into Europe around the turn of the beginning of 2017. Australia already has it. There's Australians on the line, so they know how that benefits them at the point of sale. Canada will actually get it around mid-year, and the U.S. Probably third quarter of 2017, if all goes well in the ramp-up of our production. That's the biggest challenge, is just making sure we can make it as fast as we need to.
That's awesome. That's very exciting and something that, we've looked forward to for some time. So that's so much exciting news tonight. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Not at all. And it wasn't that we didn't believe that this would be a great move to make, to go vegetarian. In fact, we did it once before in the U.S. and had challenges, and that's because our powders kind of interacted with the material from the capsule, in that the powders want to draw water into them. They're dry and they want to hydrate, and the capsule material shouldn't really let the moisture that's in it transfer into the powders, but it was, and so the capsule was drying out, and they would crack, and people would get bottles of Orchard Garden or Vineyard with brilliant red, green, or purple powder all over the place. So we had to work, it took us 3 years of comprehensive testing to come up with a new polymer sourced from tapioca that would meet all of our requirements and not get brittle and still be able to support stability. And so it just took a ton of due diligence, and then to get it ready for all countries. So that's a big undertaking we took, and we're excited about it, and know that our customers and our representatives around the world are pretty excited about it too.
Well, I can imagine your days being quite exciting as you work through these things, and also new and upcoming things as time goes on. We certainly in the field are excited. I think something that has really been so powerful for us over the years is, and obviously has proven itself so, is that fruits, vegetables, and berries are so basic. They're so basic to health. They're so foundational that even if we do, look at expanding the product line, which is exciting, we still have that foundation of Orchard, Garden, and Vineyard blend to build on always, and that always will be something that is core to who our customer is, and who we are as a company. And it's exciting that we're not going off in a different direction. We're just expanding the brilliance of what we already have. And I can see where it would be just fun every day to talk about those sort of things.
It is.
There at the home office. So,
and that's the guiding principle we don't want to forget, and is that our products have to deliver long-term benefits to our customers. If you have a mission statement like we have, inspiring healthy living around the world, it kind of is a prerequisite that you provide products that offer long-term benefits. And so just like you said, it's a foundation. This is expanding the foundation, and we want to continue to be customer-centric and really think about customer journey and really making an impact with the customers' lives that we touch. So nothing we bring to the market anew will deviate from that guiding principle.
Well, and I think about myself and my family. I mean, I've been with the Juice Plus Company 29 years. We've had Juice Plus itself for, is it 24 or going to be 25 this year?
It's going to be 24 in May.
In May.
Yeah.
And, I've certainly over this time can see, and I've not missed it a day. I can tell you it has given me my edge from a health standpoint. I've watched it give my family an edge. And as time goes on, the brilliance of it only validates itself over and over and over. And I've got customers that I've had for over 20 years, and then, of course, always adding new ones. But the fact that people find this so foundational to, making that difference, as you say, filling the gap between what we eat every day and what we wished we would eat every day, or what we would hope to eat every day, and really making that difference for people is very exciting, not only for our own personal well-being, but certainly it's a joy every day to be involved in something like this. And then to have new things coming out now, which will only support that, is wonderful. It's just very exciting. You also mentioned that research, we have You know, as you said, 35 published studies already, but 5 new that are ongoing or underway. Maybe you want to just touch on those a second. We don't have to really go into explanation, but just a little highlight quickly on what they'll be looking into.
Sure, love to. So yeah, you're right, 35 published, 5 underway. And a lot of people wonder what our strategy is because we know that our body of research has tremendous impact and we can compare favorably to anybody in our space. So where do we go from here? We feel so strongly that it's a competitive edge that we want to kind of keep our pedal to the metal. Much of the research that's been conducted has come from researchers that came banging on our door. And they conducted their own pilots. They saw interesting findings. They wanted to formalize a trial and get published. Today, we go out looking. Dr. Manfred Lamprecht goes all around the world presenting our body of research, piquing interest of people in the research of health and nutrition, and we go find big names at big universities with, we hope, bigger impact subject matter. So that's the thinking we have. We have several that are underway that kind of fill that mandate that are highly anticipated. There's one that's underway. It's actually concluded in terms of subjects taking the product in Australia. That's looking at chronic low-grade inflammation, and in particular gene expression of inflammatory pathways. And so, some of our leading doctors have always believed that lifestyle can trump genetics, and this study is kind of looking at what kind of genetic expression can you influence through good nutrition. And so I know through Manfred Lamprecht that the principal investigators are very excited about what they found and excited about the potential journal they'll get published in, and we expect publication sometime in 2017.
Yeah.
We also have a very interesting study going on right here in Memphis that's looking at microbiome. Includes both orchard garden and vineyard and complete shake mix. So it's looking at a correlation between gut health and low-grade inflammation as well as oxidative stress. So things like intestinal permeability as well. Microbiome's clearly a hot topic. Lots of our leading healthcare professionals talk a lot about it, and we're excited about what that'll bring. And it's not likely to conclude until 2017, so we're expecting publication in 2018. One of the most compelling in my mind is our fourth, what we call systematic review, where you're not conducting a new study, you're looking retroactively at the entire body of research and trying to extrapolate findings. And what the University of Padua in Italy and the University of Colorado here in the U.S. are looking at is using sophisticated statistical models, whether they can deduce that Juice Plus could impact disease prevention, or whether it could influence healthcare cost reduction. And those sound like pretty lofty claims that in almost every market they are going to be, and many regulatory bodies are going to say, you can't say that, and we're going to have to say, well, we didn't. The University of Padua in Italy and the University of Colorado did out of their own volition, and they got it published. So that'll be the fourth occasion where a university takes a look at our entire body of research to try to extrapolate something. So super looking forward to that outcome sometime in 2017. And the last one I'll touch on is one that's only recently got underway. We revealed it for the first time in St. Louis about 5 weeks ago. This is taking place at Tufts University. It's an aging study. It looks at two different groups, older people, 55 and up, and a younger group, 18 to 30. And basically, it's looking at whether or not Juice Plus can slow down the aging process. Mitochondrial capacity is kind of what they're looking at. And this is probably one of our biggest undertakings in terms of the protocol in the study and what we have to do and what we're going to look for. So we spent a lot of time, and the principal investigator is just someone who's considered, one of the best in this area. So we're really looking forward to what he can help us unveil. And then going forward, everything is preliminary, but we're very interested in brain health, especially with the introduction of Omega Blend. Our commitment is to have something started with Omega Blend by the time we conclude our multi-stage launch. That's likely going to be, Cheryl, if everything goes well, the end of 2017, the fall conferences around the world. That'll be the point at which everyone can buy and everyone can sell Omega Blend. And so it's at this point that we plan on being able to reveal that we have a study that's underway looking at Juice Plus Omega Blend and probably other products as well. So.
Oh, this is just also exciting, and the prediction I'd like to make, because I've watched the field, and thousands of people swallowing Juice Plus over all these years, is that they're definitely going to find that it's anti-aging. It, helps to prevent, healthcare costs that come along with illnesses and all those sorts of things. So I'll just kind of be on record for saying I bet all those things come to pass, because we certainly watch it with people, and it'll be exciting to have studies that actually we can go to and say, we see this, but now we know it. That's my belief.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll make that prediction right now, okay?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Well, we certainly thank you for all of your information tonight. It's very exciting. We're in a very exciting time, I think, just in history as far as our product line. It's not so exciting if we look at the world in general and, our availability to, rich, nutrient-rich food. We get rich food, but not nutrient-rich for the most part in our daily diets, and so it's exciting to be part of something where you can really help people make a difference in, as you said, gene expression and preventing some of the things that may come on very readily from family history, and, just really take care of yourself. I've always felt so blessed to be part of this whole adventure, I guess, in many different ways, certainly for my own health and that of my family. I feel like we have dodged many a bullet that was part of rather horrific health history in this family, and all have managed to be and to continue to be really healthy, and I totally credit Juice Plus to that. And I think that it's wonderful to be able to, offer this for other people and to do it on a daily basis, and to work in a business alongside people like yourself. Certainly we as distributors partner with the company, and to see your excitement and what you're involved in, and of course it's our future as well, but also to daily work alongside like-minded people who want to make that difference, who really want to live at the highest edge of their physical existence and their mental and emotional and financial existence. And all of those things are possible here, and so it's very exciting. Well, thank you so much, Sean. Anything else that you might want to say? I don't want to cut it off before.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that, the company is so customer-centric and so thoughtful of the journey that our customers are on, and constantly brainstorming about what we can do to complement what our representatives do around the world to support a healthy journey, an inspired healthy journey. And, I can't think of a business model that could be more efficient than ours to actually deliver that true impact to the customers, because there's so much additional value we can add outside of just taking our products. And for me, one of the clearest recalibrations of that understanding for me was when I went through with my wife, who had been working with the Juice Plus company for 5 years in Europe, going through having 2 children and having amazing pregnancies, and realizing that it wasn't just being on our products, but it was being on the Juice Plus journey, and having learned so much about healthy living and how we could apply that to our journey while in pregnancy and also while we have young children. So there's so much value we can add if we just put our
right.
hearts and minds to it, and that's what propels us every day.
And I think that's so valuable too. I know that if I had not been part of this and involved in this on a daily basis, I wouldn't have near the knowledge of health and how to take care of health and how to promote health within my family. It's just what you're saying is there's almost an education that comes along with this as a side effect that is wonderful because you learn so much along the way. So, well, once again, thank you so much for your input. We've so appreciated it. We've been looking forward to this call for some time, and as you can tell, the world showed up to hear it tonight, and we're really proud that you represent us in the product department as well as, research development, and all those intelligence things that you all do up there. Okay?
Well, thank you for having me, Cheryl, and to everyone else out there, thanks for joining tonight. Look forward to seeing you at the next Big Juice Plus event.
Absolutely. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Sean.
Good night. Thank you, Cheryl. Bye-bye.